So I was doing a battery change for a customer, and long and behold, as I pulled the battery out, there's a piece of the housing that fell away from it. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to try to fix this by using, instead of replacing this motor, we're going to use some 2-part epoxy, a piece of masking tape, a mixing cup, and a stir stick. And what we're going to do, and we're going to use one of the factory screws that came with it. So what we want to do here is look at the orientation first of all and see how it broke off. And from the looks of it, it looks like that. So that looks about right. Obviously, we're going to need this piece because this is where the battery attaches to, and this is important. And so to save the customer a few bucks, because the motor's working and we don't want to change all of it out, what we want to do is we're going to use this screw and we're going to thread it in like so. And we're going to want to just get it to the point where it's sticking out so we can line it up with the hole that's on the body itself. So I'm going to back away the screw to try to get it as tight as possible. Okay. And what I'm going to do, just slowly start to screw it in. Okay. As you can see, if I turn it a little bit there, make it get a match. So screw it in a little bit more. Okay, so now we got it kind of like that. We're going to push against it. It's going to fill in that gap. There's a piece that's missing right here. But what we're going to do is we're going to pack it with epoxy. But we don't want that epoxy falling out. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of tape. And when we do epoxy this piece of tape is going to get stuck to the epoxy. So you can use any kind of tape you want. But realistically, we just need this to hold again. And, you know. Okay, now we have an area where we can pack the epoxy. I'm using a 2-part epoxy. Get this stuff at the dollar store. It's good. Works well. Okay. Mix it around. I've always found epoxy to be interesting because when you start to mix it, you can smell as if it's burning, and it's because it's got an exothermic reaction. It starts to heat up, and then when it heats up, it starts to dry. But as you're mixing it, it stays a little bit stiff, but as you keep mixing it and that exothermic reaction happens, it starts to get a little bit more runny, which is great because what we want, that's exactly what we want. We want to be able to push this stuff through. There you go. Managed to land it in the right spot. Okay, and then I just kind of tap it like that. I'll roll the stick away, and then I'm going to do it again to collect that excess. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do a light tap like that. Okay. And what we'll do here next is we'll tear a piece of this tape off, and we will put it so it doesn't drip down on the screw. Again, that epoxy it's probably going to cling onto this piece of tape, so as I peel it away, a portion of it's going to get stuck, but we're essentially trying to create a mold for this battery housing to go back into it. Otherwise, we can't screw that part of the battery in. So I'll do a close-up here so you can see. Now we just wait. Okay, so now we've got the epoxy all filled into the gaps and the cracks. It's not the prettiest job, but as you can see, it's not moving. It's bonded itself back onto the body. Now what we're going to do is we're going to test to see if the canister goes back in, if we need to sand or anything like that. Perfect. So we got no issues there. Okay. And what we want to do is make sure that the battery goes back in place as well. And again, there's no issues. Let's go ahead and throw a screw in there. And there you have it. You got everything secured back into place. That gap is not void anymore. We've got an area where the screw will go in. And again, the epoxy was about $2. A two-part epoxy from the dollar store was about $2. Just needed a Phillips screwdriver to pull out the screws on all three ends here. One on the back of the handle, two underneath. Canister fits in properly. I'm going to go ahead and disassemble this again and put in a new battery. Thank you for watching.